It's June 7th. As mentioned in yesterday's reading, Ecclesiastes is a difficult book to interpret. In this book, you'll find challenging verses, such as, "The day of death is better than the day of one's birth. Don't be overly righteous, neither make yourself overly wise. Why should you destroy yourself?" These passages certainly cannot be singled out as a proof text for doctrine. In fact, these contradict other passages from other biblical authors, and even passages written by Solomon himself. The key to understanding the book of Ecclesiastes is to understand the context in which the book was written. Its author, Solomon, is writing from late in his life. He has been recognized in other passages as the wisest man on earth, having been granted unprecedented wisdom by God as a response to his prayer in 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9 that we read of on May 20th. We've also read that Solomon disobeyed God in a very profound way. He married many foreign wives, which had been strictly forbidden, and these wives led his heart and the nation into idolatry. And so Solomon at age 75 is not the same man that ascended the throne decades earlier. And we will read in the coming days how the toleration of idol worship had a devastating impact upon the nation. Ecclesiastes is a stark reminder to the reality that even the wisest man on earth did not finish well. Given every opportunity for success, even the most honorable, the most noble, and the wisest among us couldn't keep the law and its requirements. He couldn't, by human efforts alone, live up to God's standards. Even the wisest and best among us couldn't help from becoming spoiled in his abundance. Solomon's life speaks to the limits of man's ability to keep the law. It shows us our core need for grace, our need to be changed from the inside out. And it shows us that in and of ourselves, we cannot ultimately succeed. And so the book of Ecclesiastes is a mosaic that reflects this reality. It is the narrative of a wisest man on earth, late in his life, after his heart has been severely compromised and conflicted, trying desperately to make sense of the deepest mysteries of life and all that he sees in the world around him. At times he is inspirational. At other times he appears bitter and disillusioned. And so we should resist pulling out any one verse and using it as a proof text for doctrine. This book's unique context requires that each verse be considered in the greater context in which the book was written. The greater message of Ecclesiastes is summed up in chapter 12 and verse 13. This is the end of the matter, all that has been heard. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Here's today's application. Do you have a plan to finish well? What are the greatest threats to completing your days on earth consistent with the values that you say you believe? What are you doing to ensure that those threats don't prevent you from living out God's destiny for your life? Take some time today and assess any adjustments that you need to make that will allow you to finish well. Now here's today's prayer.